Hello, YouTube. Give me a minute while I do some back-end stuff, okay? Give me a minute while I do some back-end stuff, okay? Appreciate it. Appreciate it if you give me a few minutes while I do some back-end stuff. On save. Over here, let's do at what is it called? Legal mindset. At Nux at Mujin. No. How do you say his name again? Moo? I thought that was right. Shit. Is it? Oh, it's. Well, it don't matter. Tectone. Transcripts. Okay. I think that's good. So we'll leave it at that. Let me go to the live link. I think this is fine. Let me start streaming here. It should go to Twitch. Okay. That's the Twitch stream. All right, let me go back to my regular computer now. I have chats up for that, but I need chats up for Twitch. So if I were to give me a new tab. Let me get that up. Oh, I'm supposed to change my category for YouTube. Hold on one second. If I were to pop out chat here. Okay, here we go. Got that done. All right, so that's done. And then let me go into the back end of YouTube real quick again. Let me just pull out another tab. And I will go to YouTube. Back end. Let's see. 6, 4, 5. I need to change it to a different thing. I need to say no. I need to say kitchen. All right, I think we're good now. So we can focus now on the stream in general. All right, so just to kind of give you a heads up on transcripts, I don't know if anybody else was able to contact the court reporter for Texas. In Texas, you need to essentially get the transcripts from the court reporter. I called the court reporter earlier today and then I just recently called the judge's office like an hour ago, and they said that she was in a hearing. So I emailed her as well. I'm hoping to get these today, or if somebody else gets them, obviously I'll react to that. I don't know if Ms. Kiff was able to, based on the fact that he lives there. Maybe there's a easier way to go to the town's clerk's office and actually just get records of them. But I don't think so. I think you have to go to this one specific individual in order to acquire these transcripts per se. But I am aware that Ms. Kiff basically went through the court documents, all the things that were submitted for this particular case. So we can definitely go through that. I'm not. That's not really what I'm interested in. I'm interested in more what Tectone said and what his narrative has been. I want to hear this right wing grifter. I want to hear the dialogue and stuff like that. I also know that, apparently through sources, Tectone is going to appeal this case. And although my first video on that was favorable to Tectone, if what he said during Ms. Kiff's notes is accurate, good luck with that. Now, there is a big caveat here because there are already just as this is not like surprising to anybody, okay, who's been covering these individuals. There are people out there who are going on the narrative, because they always do, right? They always go on this narrative that the judge in county court number 4, not to bring up her or to try to like out her or dox her, but you can basically figure this information out. It's on the public record. Her name is Judge Malhotra, and the narrative is now that she's favorable to cases like this. Hey, dumbasses. Sorry, I don't mean to say that while she's on the actual screen. Let me go to the right thing. Hey, dumbasses. And I'm going to react to this guy's video as well. Hey, dumbasses. If you say what Tectone said in that court proceedings, if what is accurate, if what Ms. Kiff's notes are even remotely accurate, there ain't a judge in this world that isn't corrupt that's not gonna give or grant a protective order. I understand you all live in this Andrew Tate-esque world, this alpha world where you pay Andrew Tate $10,000 to go take an alpha training course to hook up with underage women. I understand that's what you do. Okay. For the rest of us, civil society here. Okay. Hello, 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 everybody. Hi. Civil society here. We know what is normal and what is not normal. Now, we understand that there's trauma. We understand that there's obviously dysfunction in relationships. And, we all make mistakes. And if you were to like be a fly on the wall of any of these relationships, nothing is perfect. But at the same time, what was being talked about in the court, in the allegations, and then the responses from Tectone, he incriminated himself. And he had one lawyer and 4 paralegals. Plenty of, and he even admitted that he spent 15 minutes looking at evidence for Twitters or for any kind of rebuttal or defense. He just went in there assuming like, okay, so the narrative is like, I knew I was going to lose anyway because I was going up against Judge Malhotra. That was the common thing. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This guy with so much bravado. My dog's out there. I have to bring her in. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I did everything I needed to do to take care of my dog, but she's old and very dependent on me. So, anyway, all right, let's go here. One second, okay? So, like I said, and I wanted to call out legal mindset because this is what he said. Travis County has pro female bias outcomes. This right wing Andrew Tate Trump loving narrative is just so disheartening. It's so disappointing because anybody that we don't know the official transcripts yet or anything like that, so take it with a grain of salt. But if what Tectone said, you know what, potential activist judge with domestic violence bias. Hey, legal mindset. I don't even know if you're a real lawyer. Okay, you obviously talk. I kind of went in and watched like the first segment of your video. Hey, legal mindset. You talked about defamation and slander. Okay, I'm not trying to slander you by saying that you're not a lawyer, but you do understand that there are many domestic violence, domestic abuse cases that end up with the actual victim being killed by the aggressor, and that protective orders do save lives. You are aware of that, right? You are aware that judges that supposedly in your mind have these biases are actually doing it because historically speaking, they actually save lives. But no, you want that Andrew Tate underage human trafficking narrative. Okay. Jury pool potentially biased towards plaintiff, skew heavy female. There was no jury pool. This was a judge who decided this. I'm pretty sure it's a civil case, right? I don't think it needed a jury pool, which would indicate that you are literally not a lawyer. Or if you are, you're a very bad one. We haven't seen abuse communications. We haven't seen the abusive communications. You don't need to see the abusive communications in this case. All the abusive communications came from the intimidation that happened on Tectone's stream with 5 to 10,000 concurrent viewers every single day, lambasting Pink Chew and Freem and all of his other, and not just to mention the women, all the men and all the other people in the orbit of Gotcha that he literally assaults on a daily basis. You don't need to see the narrative or the communication or the rhetoric from someone like Tectone. He is a living, breathing offender of pretty much any crime that you can think of. All right? Defamation and slander. Then you have his friend over here. Tectone's friend Braxophone doubles down and calls Pink Chew mentally ill and probably a liar. I called Techie, told me to make my own decision on it. Trust is in full. He did nothing wrong. Think that says a lot. Not like Atsu, the fake people who run into the gotcha space. You know, this fucking Atsu thing being flung around over and over again.
Bro, I feel like
how many fucking times do I have to set the record straight? Okay, whether or not Atsu did have favors was, essentially trying to have this whole like friend group stuff. Whether that is true or not, and whether that is criticizable, Tectone did the very same thing. And obviously Braxophone and Tectone were all wrapped into this thing, not being able to get all the deals from Genshin and Honkai and all these other Hoyoverse sponsored deals, which were very lucrative. Let's be very clear, very lucrative. And then when he controlled and still controls the Wither and Wave scene, Tectone did the same thing, picking his people to essentially be successful or not. So just trying to become Trump, criticizing everybody else. And then when he gets in office or when Tectone is the leader, he is corrupt and does the very same things that he is accusing other people of. We have Miskiff here who continues to counterject any narrative that Tectone has by saying, basically that, he criticized Pokemon for coming back. Tectone did. And then Miskiff had to have a counter for that as well. And then former friend comments like people claiming to be friends with them still after everything, which is very weird. So in this goes on and on and on. I love this little thing right here where he has a literal board that says consensual non-consent. That is just irony right there, right? So that's just one aspect of this. Oh, this one too. Asmund calls for the public stoning and burning at the stake of Tectone, Tectone's dad, and Lucari if they are found guilty. Okay, so at least the clarification there is if they are found guilty. Now, Asmongold, who talks about everybody else, whether, even before all the facts are out there, obviously, I'm not going to get into the Minnesota, Minneapolis thing, but he continuously talks about them right now. Has gone on record to say that he knows more about this information than anybody because he's been friends with Tectone for 3 to 4 years. So he knows who these people are. He knows the real facts of this case. You mean the bias facts that all women, okay, because of all these orbiters who love Andrew Tate, alpha male, white lolly, withering waves. What was the game you were just playing recently? Oh, that's right, Arknight's Enfield, who has little children dressed up in scantily clad outfits because it's an Eastern style developed gacha game, and that's what's now appealing. And you older men play those kind of games. Yeah. We know how it really is, okay? I know how it really is as well. All right. That's why we're setting the record straight today. All right. So what I want to do right now is go back to my timeline real quick. All right. So we have a lot of these videos, right? But we have to go back a couple months because I have to go back to when I was starting to cover, or when I covered Tectone for a year. There's a couple people I need to call out that are still continuing to call Tectone a friend, even after potentially knowing that he is someone that. Oh, this is the first one. Okay, I love this. I love this is coming back. I love this is coming back. I love this is coming back. This guy right here. I love having this record of videos on my channel because it makes it so easy for me to do something like this. Hello YouTube, welcome to America. My name is Plazukas. Today's video is going to be on Nicholas Light TV, a person that has been in the interest of mine and Tectone's recently. He started covering lolly content, so I wanted to kind of look into him a little bit further, and I decided to watch his stream that he did for Wither and Waves today, and I found something quite interesting. So shall we watch a little bit back here? We're going to go about a couple minutes before. Let's go right here. I believe it's when I stepped in was right around here. So let's try this and see how this grown man acts in a space that he's new to. The fact that he is now friends with Tectone. Let's see how new people enter the gacha space.
I want to see all the biddies in this game dancing to this song at the same time.
This is a grown man, okay, playing Wither and Waves for the very first time, acting like a little child because the demographic for this game is super young. The demographic that matters, the demographic that will get you sponsored, that will get you money for this game, is super young, okay? Anybody that's older playing this game, shame on you, okay? And not only shame on you, you might be a criminal.
Yeah, this beat's crazy. Bro, where is this city? Is this somewhere in the real world? Oh God, there's men now.
Chisa, ally of justice at your service.
There's men now.
Are you the one in need of a hero?
First of all, I didn't even think about this. So before we continue, I have to be very careful. I just remembered my number one rule about this coverage. So we will not be showing any of that off while we commentate. So we'll figure that out.
Another day, another heroic me.
Oh shit, I got Chicksha. All right, cool. Nice. All right, now I got Chicksha. From the new world, new trophy. Oh shit, I can whip my sword out in the city? I thought that would be banned. I guess not. Nice.
Was that a reference to something else that he could whip out? Sexual innuendos? While having an audience that is most likely underage? Okay, go ahead. We know this happens all the time online. I mean, I can't really speak ill of this. This is just whatever at this point.
First residence, Huang Long, Act 1. I'll show you my Huang Long. Shang Wen. I could just talk to everybody.
What's that? What's that imply?
My God. Hi there. I heard that Pioneer. Huge fan of yours from day one. Yo, bro.
What is this face? Face.
Association's Jinjo.
Get ready.
All right, let's just.
Get ready. It's
we'll
happening.
talk later.
Get ready. It's happening.
All right.
All right. You won't be able to see it.
Bro, this city's beautiful. Oh, shit. I'll talk to everybody later.
You won't be able to see it.
British.
Because I'm not going to show
Oh,
it.
there's a little girl. What's her name? Zhao Sui. Can I make a baby? Oh, fuck!
There it is. There it is again. For all of you who never watched this video, who never got to that part, he saw a little girl. This was not like the gotcha little girls. This was literally a 9-year-old. And he talked about babies. Okay? Which is whatever, right? Until we realized that someone like Lakari just got accused of all those links. Rich Campbell accused of sexual innuendos. His orbiters, okay? His orbiters. Whoever. What's his? Some ordinary gamer, right? Got accused of lolly porn with whatever his other face is. I can't remember all the other people. Knox 2. I'll get to him in a minute. But let me go to his channel real quick. I just want to see what he's been actually reacting to lately. So he's been playing Ark Knights Enfield, reacting to gotcha music for various. I'm sorry, Japan. Does he actually even respond to Tectone in his videos recently? Let's see if he does anything. I know Twitter maybe there was the worst anime of all time. No, doesn't look like he does. So we will now go to Twitter, and we will see if Nicholas Light, and let's do plus Tectone. Let's see if there's any correlation here between the two. There's connections here, obviously. Oh, let me, I'm gonna have to remember to keep on doing this. I have to do it while I'm live. This is not a video of anything, so clearly. I only heard people like this are the most inspired and pushed forward by the likes of Nicholas, Tectone. JC staff shouldn't have been the one to die. Okay, well, I don't know about all that. Replying to Iteta, if she wasn't making millions, there's no way she would feel this way. Another out of touch, white guilt loser that will virtual signal because her other streamer friends are doing it. Absolutely pathetic. I can't believe it's controversial to want people to be in the country legally. I'm trying to binge part. Okay, so Friesen, look at these. We'll all be there when you come back, bro. This was after the the reports that basically he had a protective order on him. So at the very least, people knew that some of the allegations that Pink made against him was validated in court. And here he goes, Nicholas Light, defending his friend. And remember, Nicholas Light is the same person who literally said, "Hello, YouTube," said this about a 9-year-old girl. I'm gonna blow it up in a Wuthering Waves. And I'm not making that up. This is not hyperbolic. This is not me being.
I'll talk to everybody later.
It's not me being slanderous.
British. Yeah. Oh, there's a little girl. What's her name? Zhao Sui. Can I make a baby? Oh, fuck!
#1 Tectone defender. I'm not trying to get sued. You can make your mind up. Okay, you can make your mind up whether this person is a credible individual. Anyway, Knox, not 2, whatever his name is. I don't even know. I don't even know his full name. Let me go to. Let me try to see if I can search here for Knox. Knox 2. Is that his name? Will it search for him? Will it see it? I forget his name. Knox. That was just now. Knox something. Knox. I had found it before. Knox. Gotcha. I don't think I'll be able to find him. I forget his name off the top of my head. Let me see if I can find it the other way. Knox. No. No, that's definitely not his name, huh? Noxa 2, is that his name? I swear I searched for it. Nox Nick Nox. Not good. Okay. All right. We'll get back to that, okay? We talked about Braxophone. Let me go to Braxophone's let me go to Braxophone's channel. Or yeah, channel. Let's go to his channel real quick. All right. Let's see what he's been covering lately. Let's see. How to make everything beginners factories to looks like Arc Knight Enfield. Although I could be wrong. This is definitely Arc Knight Enfield. So just doing the same coverage as before. All right, now if we go to Braxophone, and obviously we read that comment recently regarding Braxophone in Tectone plus Tectone. If it's truly, obviously, it's not. If it's not true, I'm gonna harass them and treat them like it's true. Anyways, just depressed. Whenever big things happen like this, I'm like, damn. This is a DMV and his ex Brax is a friend with Tectone and was one to do a lot of dirty work behind the scenes in the Genshin Impact to stab a creator named Atsu who had issues. These dudes are all abusive losers who won't say shit to you in real life. I did not hit you. I did all of it, but I did not hit you. You were more mad than I've ever seen you. Doesn't matter. Your face cam is blocking the text. Oh, I do this all the time, my brother. I know. Because I'm trying not to show all this other content from Withering Waves, you know. So I'll be more mindful of that. My bad. Tectone, Braxophone, divorce arc next. See Braxophone comment. This is the same one that we just looked at. So again, this person here. So let me go onto my channel and see if I can find any related, because we just did a Nicholas Light connection. Okay, let's find the Braxophone connection, which is already there. Like these two are buddies. Tectone or advertise. Oh yeah, right. I like this. I like this one. We can go right here. I love my channel. My channel is so good. But again, I'm gonna have to block this because I don't want to promote this kind of content on my channel. So do I just have to?
Hello there, Clarice.
Oh boy,
Today's
it's me,
video
Hannibal
is
Lecter.
gonna be on Silver
I forgot.
Palace.
Oh, I put timestamps on this one. Look
I
at
would
me.
like to answer 2 points.
I'm too lazy right now. I'm too lazy right now to do that.
One is Tectone, otherwise known as Techie, T-Dog.
Okay. All right. All right.
See what they say.
That's a good angle.
It's a good angle. It's a good angle.
That's a good angle.
It's a good angle.
Interesting.
This is from an upcoming
hair
game
is
called
flowy.
Silver Palace.
Looks like a lot to render. I hope that this is gonna be good on low spec devices. Oh, that's the assistant. We hired her. Be our
幸
maid.
好这里的租金
She's a maid. We hired her.
不贵，不然搬
No other comments. If you look over here, I want to make sure everybody understands. The girl symbol is generally associated with femininity, purity, innocence, and youth. The word girl refers to a female child from birth to adulthood.
Okay, all I was getting at, and this has been sus behavior anyway from someone like Braxophone to begin with in this industry and gotcha. But they both took sponsors from this game called Silver Palace, which has like an underage maid character. So not only is it like that kind of suggestive clothing, it's also like slavery, okay, and all the other things, just like Andrew Tate levels of obscenities. You know, that's the kind of group we're dealing with so far. This is what we're dealing with. Hey, Ark, what's Nox? What's his name? Is it Nox Octu? How do you spell his name? Do you know? I couldn't find it. I got lost here. Oh, you know what I could probably find? I can find it here, can I? Oh no, so I'm doing it wrong. It's some other name. Nak Octu. Knock Octu. Can't think of his name. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, Ark. Yeah, I thought you might have known. I know you were in my channel previously. I have covered this person before. I was trying to find him. He's on my thumbnail for this video. But for whatever reason, when I try to look for him, I can't. We can keep on going down here. We now have the fourth connection to Oblivion Tectone as it pertains to Lolly adjacent creators. This was me going against that again. Let me just check here. Let me just do a thing here. There should be one. I think I used his image one time. That'll give me the info if I could find it here. I was going through this whole arc at this one time. Did I lower my? Yeah, I lowered my camera that time. Let's try it one more time. It should be pretty close. I don't know. I think this is too far back, if I'm being honest, because I don't think this came out until after. I might not even put them on my headline. It might have just been a thing that I referenced in a video. All right. It don't matter. All right. Let's talk about one other creator that is friends with Tectone. And I want to talk about this creator because his rise to fame is a little bit sus. And it's been sus for a while now. We ever reviewed Tectone's video where he's talking about Charlie Kirk? Oh no, I don't even want to deal with Charlie Kirk, man. That whole situation is just I don't even know. Mugen. This creator blew up relatively recently. And I don't really know much about Mugen. And the only time I was ever exposed to Mugen was when I was covering Tectone. And they would talk back and forth. And every time I used to pop into his Twitch channel, and I know he's an older gentleman, he was playing Roblox. What do you guys think my stance is on Roblox? The only time that I've heard about Roblox before, obviously, I talked about Roblox and everybody started kind of suspecting Roblox as being this PDF ring, was when my niece, this was like 7 years ago, said she was playing this game called Roblox, and I had no knowledge of this game, right? And obviously now we know. And there was a recent thing about a 15-year-old kid meeting up with a Roblox friend. He disappeared since January 9th. Listen. All right. I'm not stupid here. I'm not going to get a lawsuit. I'm not going to get sued or anything like that. I don't know what Mujin's, situation is. If you're above the age of 21 and you're still playing Roblox, if you're streaming it, I've heard there's like all these games in this ecosystem and blah blah blah. I don't even care at this point. You should know better. You should know better. It can't be that great. And adults need to get out of there. And if you're not out of there, I have to question your motives. And it may just be that you want to be successful. And that might be why Mujin's there, because he has an audience now that he knows will watch his videos, and there's nothing, it's above board, and all he's there is just to make money. Okay, you know what? And that's what I would swear by, that he's going to dare to make money. But his rise to fame and the fact that he's in this circle of Nicholas Light, of Braxophone, of Lakari, guys. Lakari now having these links and stuff associated with it. All of this is not coincidental. This has correlation. This has causation. And people like this, abusers, stick together. They know each other. They generally get along. They're like-minded. The lolly scene, guys. The lolly scene. That's all I'm saying. So it's pretty sad, in my opinion. All right, let's go over this thing now, because I'm going to more react to Mizkif's video than I am going to be this person's video. But because he wanted to start a controversy, I thought we could come in here and look at his videos real quick. He seems like he's lawsuit. He seems like he's going to be like a copyright blocker kind of guy. I ain't gonna use much of this guy's video. I don't even know what kind of. I don't know if he's a lawyer. I have no idea what his legal standing is. And I'm not intimidated by him. But at the same time, I've never watched any of his other videos that I know of. But we're just gonna get a bit of an opener. We're going to go into the middle, and then we're going to the end for him, and that's going to be it for this. And then I think Mizkif covers it a little bit, and then we might react to it from that perspective.
So let's get rocking with the Tectone files. So I'm going to present to you first the PP, which is going to be part of a fast facts. I'm not going to do all the exposition of the fast facts, but let's just get through this little bit of the basics. And this is mind you, this is part 1.
Wow.
Part 1.
Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed this wouldn't be a multi-part series? Who would have guessed?
I know there will be more documents released in the future. This is just
say it again.
the start.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
But I know it's a lot, so we're going to go through it all. By the way, also caffeine, my other vice, got this birdie here. This is a Thai latte.
Is this sponsored? Is this what you're doing? You're doing the sponsor for the video? I don't want to hear it.
Right. Gonna rock in that one. We got the Kredendong,
Oh, so you're an energy bro. I get it. All right, let's move on with that.
the caffeine, but that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get into Tectone files.
Okay.
We got our plaintiff here. Or our defendant. Our defendant is
clearly not a lawyer. The first thing you're taught in law school is the defendant and the plaintiff. He got confused. He would have been disbarred. I can't say that he's not a lawyer, but obviously that's why he's not practicing, apparently. That's why he's having YouTube videos and not actually in court.
Of course, the Eggmans, of course, Tectone. And to be honest with you guys, once again, if I'm going to disclose my bias.
Oh! A bias. Okay, go ahead.
And I do have a bias here. I like Tectone.
Oh my God. Oh, well, there you go. It's kind of all out the window now, isn't it? Lawyers are not supposed to have biases. Legal mindset.
And I'm not gonna pretend that I don't like Tectone and I don't like the content he covers, and that some of my bias is towards his defense.
Are you okay? Wait. You like the content that he covers? What are you talking about? How old are you? I know the content that he covers. I don't even digest it because I don't want to hear it. I'm only there to listen to what stupid shit he says. You find that entertaining? Are you 12? Are you 9? Are you part of Andrew Tate's alpha male class? What is interesting about Tectone's content besides the stupid shit that he says?
So if people want to criticize me
Oh, I'm going to criticize you.
and say I'm being very convenient to the defense, I will accept that. But understand, I do indeed, indeed try to treat cases like this on all sides.
Try. That's why you bring out a Twitter, an X, saying that this Judge Malhotra, on the fourth court for Travis County, Austin, Texas, is partial to women for domestic violence cases. Okay. Okay, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. But you did because you wanted that narrative out there, didn't you? You wanted to muddy the waters. You want to act like the credibility of women judges, women victims, women lawyers are always in question. And I'm not saying they're not. But equally so, men are pretty shady shit too, okay? Fair is fair.
Especially when it comes to actual court cases. So I try to give the defendant the best light possible and the plaintiff the best light possible.
Okay.
So we are going to do.
And I don't give you any benefit. I think you are a complete hack, in my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with your law degree if you have one or not. I just think you're a hack.
Do this with this and reviewing this, understand that I'm looking at the evidence and I'm doing it case by case and saying, what does this actually mean? And the important thing here is we are in a post-debt world. I'm going to say this a lot.
What's
But in
it?
a post-debt world, I have
Oh, Amber and Johnny Depp. Okay. Clearly, there was some injustices happened. I didn't even watch the case, but I'm pretty clear that there was injustice happening between the Amber and Johnny Depp case. But not every case, okay, can be used. Not every case can be scrutinized in that case. Like there are plenty of victims that come out that have legitimate claims. Okay, Amber Heard obviously had some legitimate issues. The problem was not everything was able to, or both sides were not able to be addressed. And that could be the case with Tectone as well. Like the appeal is possible. We haven't seen the official transcripts, so not everything he said could have been incriminating. But what we saw from Ms. Kiff's notes, bro, he didn't do himself any favors. Did Johnny Depp do himself any favors initially? No. And that could be the case for someone like Tectone too. Sure. And if that's the case, sure. But I'm pretty confident. Okay, I'm pretty confident that Tectone's not innocent at the very least. Not innocent. Maybe not as bad of a person as he's being perceived to be, but he's definitely not innocent.
covered many of these cases. Khan.
In my opinion. Don't sue me. Or sue me. I don't care. But you know what I mean. In my opinion.
I think is it Sadiq Khan? I forget his first name, but in Princeton with his Me Too case, There's been a lot of other Me Too cases out there.
Mm.
Trevor Bauer,
Mm-hmm.
Max had me cover that one as well.
Mm.
There's a lot of Me
Mm-hmm.
Too cases that end up absolutely destroying men based on the laws in the West. And this is something that I've seen and we've seen. And my channel, yes, I covered Disney and Somali and Vitali and Ethan Klein.
Okay. I'm gonna stop reacting to you right now because, or at least this part of it, because I just can't do this. I think the Me Too aspect of it is a very important from a legal perspective, and I do think that it does at least warrant um that each case is given like as fair of a shot as possible. Clearly. So because there were some injustices that happened during Me Too, but let's be very clear, there's so many cases that were not even um able to go through the court process before Me Too because they were all basically denied justice. These women who were victimized, who were assaulted, were never given a chance to be tried. So maybe there is a 5% case probability that, yes, women lied and men went to jail or had their reputations lost because of it. But 95% of them were legitimate, and we cannot look past that. Okay? Andrew Tate, like guy, in my opinion.
Noticing
Oh, I don't have YouTube Premium, guys.
Okay, hotties, it's time to target the muscles that matter the most. Your sip muscles. And
All right, we got a
sip.
comment here. We got a
Freeman,
comment. Hold
Kurtzman
on, we got a
suggested
comment.
that
We got
they
a
go on
comment.
their
Something
own
about civil rights. The civil rights lawyer talks about real life cases backed by real footage and handles real life cases himself instead of online celebrity lawsuits coverage for clout. Yeah, John, I'm figuring that out. Okay, I'm figuring that out.
adventure. Freeman was excited by the prospect of going on a date with her crush Kurtzman and agreed. In getting ready for the date,
Okay, this is not going to be content. We cannot. I'll have to do I'll have to do this myself, right? I'll have to do this myself. I don't have these documents, nor do I want them. But it does look like I'm not sure how they attained these per se. But this is the actual case file. And I from what I understand, Tectone dumped these or somebody dumped these and then people were able to access them, but I'm not doing that. I'm still in talk. I'm trying to get this person to reply back to me, the court reporter, to try to get the transcripts, but haven't been able to do that. I do know this, and we're gonna go over this when we react to Miskif stuff. Let me see if there's any thing that he ends with. Let me go here. Oh, was he doing the tweet the X tweet on his channel before he got off, or does he not do that kind of thing? Oh, what's this? Oh, here we go. Here we go. We'll listen to this.
in my analysis here, and once again, let me go back to my PP. I pulled my PP out again, and once again, it's not a micropene.
It's insane, dude.
It's just right. Nobody's complaining about the size of my PPs.
Nobody asked you about that legal mindset. Don't be a perv.
Let's go back here. Okay.
Can you talk?
This is why I am withholding my judgment.
Okay.
Because I want to see more evidence. We need to consult all the evidence. We need to say before we cancel Tectone, before we show Tectone, shove him in a box and you do whatever, put him in the box, shot the leaflet. We need to make sure we see this all. And Miskiff is clearly releasing these documents to take pressure off his case, which shows abusive communications. Intimate partner relationships are very personal and private. And honestly, it sucks to see this dragged through the court of public opinion. But you know what? We've now looked at this, and honestly, reviewing what I just reviewed today, I'm more sympathetic to Tectone.
Oh, you are. You are more sympathetic. You have that Andrew Tate mentality because he has a micropene. Therefore, he you should feel sorry for him because he I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. Okay, you already said you're biased. Okay, I already know you have a bias. Okay, Again, you're part of this orbit that exists. I wonder, let me just see something. Do you play any gacha games? Let me just look here. Does he play gacha games? Oh, he doesn't like Don Lemon. Actually, bro, that is racist, bro. That is racist, bro. You got the Ku Klux Klan in back of him and Don Lemon in the front. You know what? You know what? I ain't even worried about being sued, man. I ain't worried about being sued. That is the most offensive thing I've seen in a long time. And it tells me everything I need to know about you specifically. And you know what it tells me? You ain't worth the air that I breathe. Goodbye. I don't even want to talk about that guy. Also, League of Mindset didn't like Tectone, but all of a sudden changed up. Yeah, it makes sense, Hanako. I mean, I don't know what these people are so, they're so willy nilly. A lot of times their motivations are like a breeze. You know, they go one direction and then the next. All right, let's get to the main event. I'm still continuing to check my emails, and I'm waiting for a phone call. If a phone call happens, I'll have to take it because it should be the court reporter. I'm assuming someone else is going to get the transcripts before me at this rate. I literally tried, and I'm going to prove it to you. Okay, here's how I'm going to prove it to you, and you can verify this number. You can also call this number, by the way. I'm going to verify to everybody how active I have been at this. Call history. Okay. This is, all right, I'll show you. Okay, first of all, I have to show you this, okay? Let me see if I can do this. All right, this is the number. This is public number, by the way. It's everywhere. But it's 154284854787. Her name is Christine Regalado. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, right? But look at this, look at this, look at this. If I actually click, let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can do it. There it is, call history. You see that? I've called at 9, 12, 1, 3. Okay? I've tried. I left a message, too. I've tried to get these transcripts. And apparently this is how you get them in Texas court. You have to call the court reporter to get them if they're even available publicly. I don't know how they got their stuff, so it is what it is. All right, let me go to... Okay, let's just go to here. This is where we're going to sit for quite a while, actually, today. I don't know if he's live. I don't know if there's any more updates. But regardless, we're behind on this. I was going to wait to cover it. I wasn't even going to cover this if I had the transcripts, but I don't. So in the meantime, this is probably newsworthy. So let's start this with Mizkiff and going through these documents together with him. I hate his typing, though. Dude needs to get a new keyboard that doesn't actually come through the mic.
All right. Let's go through this. Ready?
Actually, it don't matter. I'm not going to watch Mizkiff outside of this particular use case anyway, so whatever. It don't matter to me.
You're my hero, Miz.
Okay, that's
dead.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous, guys. Come on. Come on, chat. Why do you got to do that to him? The guy's ego is already the size of a friggin' hot air balloon on steroids. He doesn't need any more. Can you hurry the fuck up? Every time, Mizkiff.
All right.
I'm going to put you on double speed. Thank God.
So, this is the application for
Hold
the
on, I got
protective
this.
order.
I got this, chat. Hold on.
Judge of
I got
said
this,
court. Application. Chat, this is what he was allegedly accused of. I'm letting you know. This is not what he was convicted of or that was after the case. This is what he was being accused of.
Smart.
So I'm letting you know everything I have is for him being accused. These are not things that he was tried for, or not tried for, but for the end results. Okay?
These are like the charging documents, right? And I know, and I understood that.
Which Tectone's name.
Because nobody actually has the court proceedings currently. I think that's what we're waiting on. And apparently, Christine Reganado, she She has a very interesting pronunciation for her last name. Regalado. There it is.
The reason why Tectone's name is not blurred out is so you know that it's real, and also Tectone is very open.
Also, another reason why I'm going to react to Miskiff's reaction to this is because he preemptively did what's it called? Redact some personal information, which I don't want to reveal Pink's real name if I can help it.
With his name, he's been known for John Robertson for years. Pink Chew's name is going to be blurred out, as well as her address. John Robertson's name is going to be blurred out, as or not going to be blurred out, but his address will and phone number. So will Pink Chew's phone number and her address.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. I love that. Really, I do. You don't need to know that information in order to make an analysis or react to it.
Okay? So
very good. We like that.
Very
All right, let's go, Miskiff. Let's go.
You know, despite me having a vendetta and being petty towards Tectone, if I really wanted to be that,
you may be guilty of everything you did to Emaru. You may be the worst person in the world, but in this particular case, Miskiff, you did the right thing.
That petty, and if I really didn't want to be objective, I would just leave up his phone number, I would leave up his address, and I would let you guys do anything you want.
Yeah, that's not
I'm
nice.
not. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that, even though I'm on Kick and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
I'm not doing that. I removed all of his phone numbers. I paid someone to go through this, so they went through it, okay?
Good for you.
That's it.
All right.
Isn't this just public? It is public, but you got to think of it this way. The streamers who are reacting to this content, in my opinion, have a service that they must do to not make sure they dox. It's the same thing for content creators. You don't go into someone's room and say, hey, dude, your address is 32 Wayne, Street. You don't do that because you know that the viewers will find it. The thing is, any viewer can find where a streamer lives, but you don't want to give them that opportunity.
Yep.
Right? So
you don't want to make it convenient. You want to make it so that they're liable for doing a search of someone's address, someone's information, so that if they're ever found guilty or they do something worse, then that will be held against them, right? You don't want to make it easy for people.
I'm not going to do that, even though I hate fucking Tectone. I'm not going to do that.
It's very, very nice thing for you to do.
I'm sorry. My bad. But yeah, you don't do that as a streamer. You don't do that in any way. I think streamers have an obligation to not do that kind of stuff. Doxing is pretty serious.
Yep.
Especially when you're having something like this, because people are going to be heated, whether they're on Pink Chew's side or Tectone's, and that can lead to bad things. So it's gone. Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot.
This is John Robertson. Travis County is in Texas chat. It's where we live. This is for Travis County, and she is the applicant. John Robertson is the respondent.
I'm just going to say, and I know that Austin is like LA. A lot of abuses happen in Austin, apparently. A lot of abuses. That court must be packed every single day.
So let's go through this, okay?
They're making money.
So the application for the protective order. To the honorable judge of said court, the application is the Judge County Attorney's Office by and through her attorneys Hillary Riley, which is, I guess, her lawyer, is making this application for protective order on behalf of Pink Chew for the protection of and in best interest of persons alleged to be victims of family violence, sexual assault, and or stalking. Application requests the Honorable Court to issue the protective order pursuant to Chapter 85 of the Texas Family Code and or Chapter 7B of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. So I'm assuming what that means, and again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm retarded, is that they are trying to, well, I guess for that retard lawyer on YouTube, it's the same thing. She wants a protective order. The parties. The state makes its appearance in this cause.
We don't like to use the R word here, Miss Kiff. If you can just refrain from using the R word. I know you're allowed to. You're on Kick, and then President Donald Trump said we could, but if you could refrain from that, I appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead.
82002 of the Texas Family Code and or Chapter 7B001 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Applicant is blank, who resides in blank. Respondent John Robertson resides in blank. Respondent's address for service of process is blank. Notice how John Robertson is also blacked out. Relationship of parties. The relationship between blank and respondent is previously dated. Ooh. The grounds. Respondent has engaged in conduct that constitutes family violence or a felony offense involving family violence against the applicant, sexual assault and or stalking. Due to the immediacy of this application and the unavailability of documentation, any copy of a decree or expired protective order, which may be required pursuant up to Section 82006 and 82008 of the Family Code, will be filed with this court before the hearing of this application. So I'm assuming that means, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, chat, because I think you know more than that fucking lawyer on YouTube, is that they are going to try to get a protective order before this court hearing even happens, because Pink Chu is afraid that something will happen, that she will continue to be stalked, continue to be talked about and lied about or said things, so she got a protective order before it, correct? Yes, I think I'm right. Children under 18 who need protection. This applicant is seeking to include following children under the age of 18. None. This is not Lucari's case. Other adults seeking protection is not available. There are none. So it's between
What a
Pink
jab.
and
What a jab. What a jab at Lucari.
Civil court cases. The following civil court case involving the applicant and respondent are active or have resulted in a final order. Family violence or other criminal cases. The respondent has been convicted of or placed on deferred adjunction, community supervision for any crime under Title 5 or Title 6 of the Texas Penal Code. I don't think it's Title 5 or Title 6 Penal Code for Tectone. It's more 1 or 2, but that's okay. Immediate order sought as...
What are you talking about, Miskiff? What? You're not a lawyer. Okay? Don't start inferring when you don't know and make it sound like you're smart. Just go with the flow. Vibe it out. You're young enough. I'm older than you. You know how to vibe. Vibe.
Shown by the detailed facts alleged in the affidavit attached to this application and incorrupted herein by this reference of all purposes. There is a clear and...
He said heron.
...present danger of family violence,
He thought it was a name. Heron.
Sexual assault, indecent assault, trafficking, and or stalking if a temporary ex parte protective order is not granted.
Okay, and so I think obviously he's placed an emphasis on all these words. This is pretty much standard affair, okay? Obviously the immediate order sought. I'm not sure if that's in every protective order case, order case that happens in a court, but that language is usually present, I think, in most.
Granted. Applicant therefore requests that the court immediately and without hearing issue a temporary ex parte protection order prohibiting respondent from the following acts until a hearing can be held. After notice and hearing, applicant requests that the court enter a protective order effective for a period of time allowed under Texas Family Code Section 885.025 and or Texas Code.
Hold on 1 second. Just 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Because we're in the Does it say the date? Did it say a date on this? No. I don't think it did. Sorry, guys. We'll go back to it.
The respondent to pay the cost of court to the clerk of the court and reasonable attorney fees to the Travis County Attorney's Office.
We'll look for the date and see when this was filed, if we can. I don't know if it probably was on the signature page that we just... Oh, so it's going to be signed down here probably.
Someone gets a restraining order or a protective order, which is even harder to get because you get rid of their guns. It usually is something that they file, they try to get rid of, they have a lawyer, and it takes 14 days, not 3.5 months. Anyway, applicant further prays for such relief in law or in equity and other extraordinary relief.
Oh, we gotta go back here.
Against the applicant or any member of the applicant's family or household, including acts intended.
Okay, this just goes over what it is. We don't need to do that.
This is going to be Pink.
We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that.
We
know what a protective order is. If you don't, look it up.
It's a lot about children harming or causing harm to or removing from the possession of the applicant or any member of the applicant's family from the following acts until a hearing can be held.
All right. Why did I just
hearing applicant
get back to that one? Here we go. We're back to that. We're back to that.
3.5 months.
Yeah, let's go.
Anyway, applicant further prays for such relief in law or in equity and other extraordinary relief requested to which applicant shows just entitlement. Applicant prays for general relief. Respectfully submitted, Delilah.
Do you think it would be possible to get an interview with Pikachu?
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna bring Pikachu on here because the truth is, you guys might side with her, some people might side with her, but the reality is that Pikachu does OnlyFans and has big boobs. And people are just going to use that because they're Tectone's disgusting right-wing community that he admits that he farmed because Hassan has a big head or some shit. Yeah, that community is just going to say she's a fucking OnlyFans whore. And
yeah, it's so bad, dude. It's so toxic and pervasive. It's really, and it just continues, right? It just continues to permeate. And I understand this whole Amber Johnny Depp thing was an issue because now people are going to always use that case to say, oh, they're innocent, everybody's innocent. No, it's just the women making claims. That's just not true, man. There's so many times where women are victimized, men are victimized as well, and we need to take these claims of people seriously, and you obviously withhold judgment. Don't resort to like anger or stupid shit. But just talking about it, having a conversation about it, and then looking at past behavior. And that's the thing that I wouldn't be even covering Tectone if it wasn't for his past behavior and all the things leading up to this. What he chose to do with his time and his platform. That's the difference. This is why I cover Tectone and not anybody else. And it's why I believe what I believe.
And that don't listen to her, and that she's a skank, and she's wrong, and Tectone's right, and I hate when men get attacked. That's all they're going to say. My name is blank, and I'm the resident of Williamson County. I'm over 18 years of age, of sound mind, and capable of making this declaration. This is going to be Pink Chew. The facts stated herein and are within my personal knowledge and are true and correct. I wish to file a protective order on behalf of myself. I wish to file this order against John Robertson, resident of blank, and respondent in this case. An incident occurred in blank county. The relationship between the respondent and myself is previously dated. We have lived together in the past from December 2022 to July 2024. We have 0 children from our relationship. Obviously not, because they never had sex. I have 0 children from a
That is actually factual. It's true.
previous relationship. The respondent, John Robertson, committed the following acts constituting sexual and physical violence. Date of violence incident was May 28th or 29th, 2024. Location of incident, blank, Austin, Texas. So, usually chat when someone sexually assaults or abuses someone, especially with sexual assault. The girl would probably try to get out of the relationship as fast as possible, not continuously date them and want to marry them. Pink Chew did that by May 28th or 29th. This occurred, and then they broke up in July. So it was just a 3 or 4 months, and then they finally broke up. She left him, by the way. I was lying in bed with John when he asked me to perform oral sex on him. I had recently gotten a lip injection procedure done and told him my lips hurt, and I didn't want to. He then pushed my head down onto his penis and didn't let go until I put my mouth around his penis and performed oral sex. My lips hurt significantly, and the filler migrated around my face because of this incident. Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on or around January 22nd, 2025.
Which, for the record, I believe we could even verify this through, well, I can use my timeline, but yeah, I might as well. I don't know if it's going to be easier to use. It shouldn't be that hard. I basically documented all this. So it would have been January. Right there. Pink Chew files a police report and doubles down on her horrific year while at Tectone hides away. That lines up. January 27th.
Were criminal charges filed? No. Was there a weapon involved? No. Were there children present? Not available. Did you require medical treatment? Yes. Doctor told me to get the filler dissolved. So she went to the doctor and told her that she has to get the
wow.
It's going to be interesting to see when she got that done.
That is interesting. That would be documentation. That would be verifiable evidence. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Usually you don't go to the doctor for that kind of stuff, right? You don't get the kind of screenings, you don't, and all this other stuff for potential allegations and stuff. Yeah, that's definitely probably part of the case files.
Respondent been drinking or using drugs? No, because he doesn't take his schizophrenia medication. What kind of weapons?
Okay.
None. If yes,
okay, be careful there, buddy.
described, I had to go to the doctor to get the filler dissolved.
You're not. Yeah, this is what you just said before, but because you read it differently, but that's totally fine. I forgive you.
So she had to go to the wait. Yeah.
Yep.
Did I require medical treatment? Yes. If yes, describe. I had to go to the doctor to get the filler dissolved. Okay, so she required medical treatment. She had to go to the doctor.
Yep.
The date of incident was 2024. The location of incident was at this house. I was crying by the side of my bathtub, and John grabbed my head, shoved it towards his closed crotch, and said that my crying turned him on.
Yep. This was yeah, I think this was something that she alluded to in one of the statements she made on Twitter.
Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on or around January 22nd, 2025.
Yeah.
So I would say the one thing that she definitely did wrong here is she should have went to the police sooner.
But that's always in these cases. You just don't go to the police. You're in a relationship. The one time it happens, you're like, you know, maybe it was something I did wrong. Like, there's so many questions. There's so much confusion. The dynamics are weird. Even if you hear stories about this, which now there's so many more, obviously after Me Too movement, and then, you know, there should have been before that as well. But no, there isn't. There wasn't. You say that, but it's not very common. Most people don't report.
But she did go at least to the police at one point. I do find it interesting when people say that someone sexually assaulted them and they never go to the police.
Yeah, she went to the police. She finally did it. And obviously we know what happened there because Tectone said that he actually verified it and he had his whole thing on stream. And let me, for all you new people out there, Plazookas documented it all. I do not even think Tectone has his VODs on his Twitch channel anymore. I have a record of all of this. Okay? I was diligent in my documentation of this event. Okay? Once gotcha was no longer important to me because of its content, and I just couldn't even justify covering it. I pivoted fully to this because this revelation happened shortly, you know, in that time period, and then I just kind of figured it all out and went all in. So I have all this documentation, and I pretty much know this timeline in my head.
But she did go to the police around January 22nd, 2025. So about 6 months later, it seems like, she went to the police. She did go. The date of incident was March 24th. Location of incident, blank. So she went to the police January. So yeah, it was about, say, 8 months. Yeah. John told me he wanted to perform oral sex on him. I had recently gotten a breast augmentation and was told by a doctor not to lay on my stomach while I was recovering. I told John that I didn't want to perform oral sex because of this. While I was sitting up, John pushed me onto his legs, so my back was on his legs, and pushed my head into his penis. This forced my mouth to make contact with his penis. He would not let go of my head until I complied, so I gave in to his demand until he was finished. Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on around January 22nd, 2025. When I first moved in with John in December 2022, he told me that instead of paying rent, I'd have to perform oral sex on him whenever he wanted. I felt like I had no other option but to comply. Around February or March 2023, I told him I didn't want to live by this agreement.
John is only fit to lay in bed with his money at this point, not real women. And he was bragging about having a family this year. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's so hard for me to like, can people change? Yes. Is every relationship you get into different? Yes. Does that discount Pink Chew's claims and abuse? No. Does that discount Freem's claims and abuse, even though NDA and not as public, I guess, in some aspects? Does that mean his current relationship is unhealthy? No. It doesn't. If it is, then, you know, then yeah, I think at some point you have to just make those kind of choices, unless you want to perpetually live in this cycle and I don't know, evade jail time, because eventually it's going to catch up to you, I'd imagine. If this already is not going to do it, so maybe you don't even have a choice. Maybe it's already too late. Here's what I will say. I want to live in a world where people can change. Let me just say that. Now, obviously, if this goes through court and he's found guilty of it, he'll go to jail, most likely, or he'll have to pay a fine or something like that, right? And that's possible. He might not have to do any of that, and in that case, then he has to do that before he moves on with his life and changes completely. But if he's given the chance to change, hopefully he has changed.
Anymore and told him I'd pay for his rent instead. However, after this, he found other ways to coerce me into performing oral sex on him when I didn't want to. For example, he would buy me of items or meals he bought for me and tell me that I owed it to him.
See, it's like this whole thing is just so unhealthy. And the way Pink is obviously wording it, obviously it sounds like prostitution, because you're basically, in lieu of paying rent, you're performing oral sex, which is kind of a payment. It's kind of like you're providing a service that is being paid in a different way. You're not supposed to do that. There's no, like, you can't skirt around that issue, right? So that's obviously first and foremost. And like, there was this conversation during the Me Too movement about coercion and about, if you're married or in a relationship, can you say no? Or it's not even like, can you say no? Obviously, you can say no. And that is considered, non-consensual and could be rape. But at the same time, like, there's playful, like, banter or playful activities that happen in bed that, you could put your leg on somebody and, kind of do something, but the boundaries. And clearly the boundaries were breached, and through this. And then we had this whole conversation, the last video, about consensual, non-consensual, and the lawyer asked Tectone specifically. I can't remember the exact terminology, but there was an exact terminology there, and Tectone said yes, he knows what that is. And that's the point where you have culpability. And all these games that you thought were games, no. Because if somebody said no the first time and you knew that you're playing this game with somebody, and then this is what she's referring to, that's a double whammy.
If I didn't comply immediately, he repeatedly guilt-tripped me until I complied.
I believe that. I'm gonna have to say that right now. I believe that. I believe the guilt trip's there, buddy. I believe that's I think that's his personality trait, unfortunately.
Throughout the time I lived with him, John would also record me when he wanted me to perform oral sex.
Yeah. Yep.
There were multiple instances where he would record these moments without my consent. There were also at least 2 incidents where during oral sex, John pushed my head onto his penis hard without my consent, and then caused me to throw up. These incidents happen so often that it becomes difficult for me to remember when each one occurred. After I moved out in July 2024, I made a post on X about my experience as a victim of sexual coercion, but I did not identify a specific perpetrator. John then threatened to post revenge porn of me if I didn't take down the post.
I think he did. Did we cover that? After I moved out in July, did he mention revenge porn? I think he might have. July. February, April, May. I'm gonna go one more over. July. Oh, wow. I posted a lot that month. May. Are we going the right way? Oh my God. I was obsessive that month. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't even know if I covered him in July. Did I cover him in July? Oh man, I took like July off apparently. Oops. Oops. Wait. No, I think the timeline's off. I think I made a mistake here. Was it July 20? Oh, okay. My bad. My bad, everybody. My bad. I'm tripping here, but I did have a revelation. I covered him a lot during May. I don't think I have anything for July of 2024. Do I? Would it be back? Oh, this is going to take forever. Oh, no, wait. We're good. How far back did I cover this? Okay. This was when I was still on Gotcha. I was talking about all this other stuff happening because there was other people having allegations. But I don't think there was any revelations regarding Pink at this particular time. When did that first start? I want to say probably... Okay. Here we go. There must have been something here, right? Obviously, a lot of back and forth. I have these on release ones. I wonder if in here, I'm pretty sure he alluded to it too, as she says. I'm pretty sure I reacted to it, but I don't know. I can't find the video precisely. We've already wasted enough time.
This made me very afraid because I knew he had recorded me in the past. He also had consistently live streamed or posted rants online claiming I am attempting to ruin his public image. On or around January 15th, 2025, John made a post on X saying he would publicly post text conversations, videos, etc. between him and I online. I worked with an attorney to have John served with a cease and desist on or around January 24th.
When was it? Yes. This sounds right.
2025. Okay. Despite this, John continued to make posts about me, X, and Twitch.
He did. He definitely did.
He even posted a live stream on Twitch or on around about February 6th, where he called me a liar and threatened to sue me. I have not heard directly from John since November 22nd, 2024, but his frequent posts online insulting and threatening me have continued to persist to the present day. So basically, she didn't go to the police for about 8 months. She went to the police because she was like, I'm going to go to the police, whatever that means. She went to the police after 8 months.
I don't know. I mean, it's extremely difficult to be a public figure, to be a celebrity, I'm sure. Not everyone that goes through this is online or is this connected like someone like Tectone is. So I think for him specifically, it's a lot harder to deal with this kind of stuff. It's obviously not ideal, but this is a matter of public record, and he's had plenty of instances, John, where he's been protected by NDAs, and this one is the one that he's not, apparently. So, I hate to say this, but apparently he had it coming.
And then Tectone was, and then she made a tweet. Tectone started making threats online, which then she also at the same time around that time was getting a lawyer. So she got a lawyer to deal with this because she realized that this is not going to work. Keep in mind, chat, this is all from the plaintiff. This is not the defendant, which is Tectone.
That's true. And that's extremely relevant and very important.
From the plaintiff, which is Pink Chew. So this is her claims and what happened. He even posted a live stream on Twitch on around February 6th where he called me a liar and threatened to sue me. I have not heard directly from John since November 22nd, 2024, but his frequent posts online insulting and threatening me have continued to the present day. This includes a comment where he made on a Twitch stream on May 12th, 2025, where he said he would go nuclear when the legal involvement between him and I ends. Sounds similar.
That's true. I don't foresee the legal issues resolving this year. I think there will be still some legal clouds in the air that could potentially be an actual criminal case. I listen, I'm not here suggesting that he would ever be found guilty and face jail time. I think this is probably where it stops ultimately. But Tectone's dumb enough dumb enough to push this. And if he does, then he will probably see jail time.
He accused me of swatting him on around August 16th, 2025, and said the world...
Yeah, this was so bad, man. This intimidation techniques that he was using against her, and then just everybody in general is just the worst part of this whole ordeal.
Will know what you've done. Late October, early November. That's when these instances have caused me significant mental and emotional harm, as he has a large following and I receive hateful comments and messages frequently from people who watch his content.
Yeah, this is a very good write-up. I'm sure she had some help, but maybe not. I do believe she's college educated, so she probably, she probably is very proficient in this kind of writing.
Every day, I'm afraid John will act on his threats to post immediate videos or photos of me, and I fear he won't ever stop posting things online about me. John knows where I live, and I'm concerned that if he becomes angry enough, he will show up to my house unannounced, threaten or harm me.
It's possible. Like, this part is going to be criticized by a lot of people that don't take these accounts seriously, but that's the point. All it takes is one particular instance, and then the victim is dead. And this happens. And protective orders weren't granted, or or they try to get them granted, and the judge denied it, and then it results in this as well. And it doesn't mean that even with a protective order that you can't have this happen, but it's another It's another deterrence. It's another barrier.
For my safety, I want...
We will pop open a new one to celebrate.
John Robertson ordered to stay away from me. Sexual abuse. Was the respondent sexually abusive with you? Yes. Had the respondent been drinking or using drugs? No.
Well, I first of all, I don't know if this is what you're referencing, John. I'm not celebrating any of this. I took 4 months off. I waited for the legal proceedings to finish. I knew this was happening in the back end. I didn't say that publicly. I said it like cryptically. I knew this was happening. And I had a suspicion as to why Tectone wasn't streaming as well. So I was waiting for this to happen. I was going to report on this specifically and then move on. And I do believe that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm not trying to like lambast or, overly dwell on this. This is not my intention.
Damn.
All right. That's the first document.
Damn. So this is just the first of hundreds of documents, chat, just letting you know what's going on.
Yep.
She is basically claiming that he was abusive. She's claiming that he's abusive and that he would grab her and force her to suck his dick.
Yeah, we know that already. We don't need to go over it again. Okay, he's going to take a little small break here, and we'll get to the next one right here. This one was filed August 21st. So that's when he would have had 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So exactly when this went into effect, because apparently the court did honor this agreement. And he could not help himself to talk about her. So he decided to just stop streaming because he knew he would break his order. He'd break the protective order that was granted in favor of Pink Chew. And I think he was even talking to lawyers right up to that last moment that I was covering him as well. And this was probably him trying to fight that and trying for him to not have this on him during that time. But he knew he would slip. He knew he would say something about her. And that's all she needed, honestly. Just a little slip up would have been enough for them to basically bring additional charges against him. That's the reality.
I don't know what they say, but I just threw them in the trash. Not really important. But all right, let's keep going. Unmedicated schizo is outside. Yeah, that's called LA, man. There's just homeless people everywhere. That's just what they do. Mm-hmm. All right, so Let's keep going. And I have 20 minutes to read, chat. I'm on like 16 minutes right now, so let's keep going, okay? Temporary ex parte protective order and showcase order. So this is, again, Pink Chu, applicant versus John Robertson. On this day, the applicant for an ex parte protective order was presented to the court. Applicant requested the honorable court to issue an ex parte protective order. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gay. Applicant name, date of birth, location, work location. To the temporary ex parte protective order shall be effective immediately and are binding on the respondent and shall continue in full force and effective until the 3rd day of September 2025 at 11:59 p.m. The requirement of a bond is hereby waived pursuant to Section 883.003, Title, I believe that is 6, Texas Family Code. It is further ordered that the clerk shall issue notice ordering respondent to appear, and respondent is ordered to appear before court in the Travis County Criminal Justice Center, which is where this was, and this is where on the 3rd day of September. So, chat, this court case got pushed back, by the way, to now. So it was supposed to happen in September, but it got pushed all the way back to January. And this is when I'm telling you, when I say that court cases can get pushed back and delayed like crazy. That's just how it is. It's insane how long the court system takes. It takes fucking forever.
It does take forever.
Just the court date alone got pushed back
4 months.
The hell?
No.
Just the court date alone got pushed back 6 months. Like, that's crazy. 6 months it got pushed. Or was that 1, 2, 3, 4? Like 4.5 months. That's crazy.
Math's not my strong suit either, Miskiff.
It's further ordered that the clerk shall issue notice ordering respondent to appear, and respondent is ordered to appear before the court in the
We've already read that.
Justice Center. This is where they have to appear. This is why Tectone didn't stream for the past 8 months. It's not because his mental health was anything. It's probably, well, it probably was partially that, but it is because Tectone had this protective order, and he is so bad and cannot talk about, not shut the fuck up about Pink Chu, that he just needs to talk about.
Yeah, I didn't hear this part. I have not seen this at all. But you know, you can say that I did. But regardless, I know Tectone, and that's probably why. Because any slip up would have gotten him in trouble.
And just let his bullshit out because the dude has schizophrenia and is insane. That his lawyer probably told him stop fucking streaming. That's exactly what happened.
Yep. And it will look good for him as well, admittedly, because then he'd have a clean slate going into the hearing and have his best chance of winning. And that's why the narrative is that this judge here, Judge Mahaltro, is biased. This fourth district court in Travis County is biased towards domestic violence, women.
The temporary ex parte protective order granted herein should not be made into a final protective order. The additional relief requested by the applicant should not be granted, and the court should not make such other and further orders representing the parties as deemed necessary and equitable. So he got a part protective order here that was issued at least until the court case was going to happen. A person who violates this order may be punished for contempt or court by a fine of as much as $500 or by confinement in jail for as long as 6 months or both.
Damn.
I think that Tectone would probably rather enjoy jail than not talking about Pink Chu. No person, including a person who is protected by this order, may give permission to anyone to ignore or violate any provision of this order during the time in which this order is valid. Every provision of this order is in full force and effective unless a court changes the order. It is unlawful for any person other than a peace officer, as denied by Section 107.
So it's 4:42 in Texas now, or 4:49 in Texas now. I don't think I'm going to get responded to before the end of day, unless they put in some crazy hours. Maybe the court reporter put some different hours than the regular justice system. So unless we get these transcripts from somebody else, which that would have required the same reporter to respond to them, not me, which is totally possible, by the way. Unless they have a different way to obtain them, which I guess is possible. Then we might have to wait until tomorrow to do the transcripts.
Penal Code, actively engaged in unemployment as sworn. Full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision who is subject to a protective order to possess a firearm or ammunition. Written admission on ineligibility to possess firearm ammunition. So Tectone cannot have any firearms. He is not allowed to do
Look
that.
up bruxism. I don't think you just have TMJ. It's often from being under immense emotional stress. Maddie Moo.
Yeah, we all know that. What? Of course. Everyone knows that I'm emotionally fucking deranged and like over the years. Are you kidding me? And I'm also stressed. One in chat if you're the same. Firearm means any
No,
device
don't one in
designed, made, or
chat.
adapted to
Don't
expel
one
a
in chat
projectile
if
from a
you're the
barrel by
same.
using energy generated. Okay, so obviously Tectone's fucking cock doesn't count by an explosion or burning substance or of any device readily convertible to that use. Firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife, blade, or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by
moving
Penal
on.
Code Chapter.
Okay, so I mean, I didn't think these documents would reveal a lot. Let me just kind of skim through here and just to see.
Can you repeat the question? Why is Tectone getting served, or this is going into protective order is set for September 3rd, 2025, when this is filed August 27th?
That's just a normal. You don't serve in the same day. You have to have somebody go out there and do it. That's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference. You have to have somebody physically do it.
I'm not sure.
That could be it.
Filed into the case on 11/5, so it's really not a big deal. They're looking for court orders. All right.
What was this?
Why? So basically, what they're trying to do, I believe this might be trying to find out about the lip filler, if I'm going to guess.
That would be smart.
To try to get the Austin Oaks Hospital procedures of that to show that she did get her lip filler fixed.
So first of all, okay, so the initial charging document or the affidavit that she basically said on one of her accounts that her lip filler was displaced or discharged or whatever else, if they can verify that that's not true, that's it. The case is done. Or okay, maybe not completely done, or because there's two other alleged things, and it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you didn't have that you weren't assaulted in some way or shape or form, but it does question your credibility.
And that the boob job was real. Those records are to wit any and all documents, computer data, or other documentation that are currently in your possession or the possessions of your employee or agent. Said production shall be made in full and returned sent to defiant within 30 days. Okay, so they're trying to get the.
That's partially why. Oh, this was in 11. This was November that they dated this.
Court stuff from the.
He probably delayed this. He didn't even take it seriously, but then he finally decided to.
Austin Oaks Hospital. After reviewing the attached order, we find the wording district clerk should read county clerk. May we have it corrected? Thank you for the attorney in this. Thank you for your attention in this matter. All right. Defense. So this is State of Texas vs. John Robertson. Defense notice of filing of business records accompanied by affidavit. Comes now, John Robertson, by and through his attorney, and files the defense notion of filing business records with accompanying affidavit, and support thereof would show the following. Under Rule 902 of the Texas Rule of Criminal Evidence, the defense hereby gives notice of the following business records. Copies of blank records from the Austin Oaks Hospital with the business records affidavit signed by blank custodian of records employed by Austin Oaks Hospital.
Okay.
The attorney for the state of Texas, Hillary L. Riley, was provided a copy of the originals of the above-mentioned business records and the affidavit on November 20th that has been filed. So Pink Chew has Pink Chew's lawyer, which I believe is Hillary L. Riley, has copies of the records of her going to Austin Oaks Hospital for her procedure and for the issue that's going on.
That's a big deal.
So she has receipts.
That was good.
That's what this tells me, is that she has the receipts. And this is the last thing that I have right now is applicant's agreed motion for extensive of temporary ex parte protective order. The agreed motion for extension of temporary ex parte order is brought by applicant Linda Ashley Lamar. Okay, we've got this, O'Reilly. It's all the same shit. Okay. So basically, chat, the big thing is this. Where was it? It's this. Why can't I find it?
Yeah, you wanted the affidavit. Let's see if he does anything else besides that.
Michael L. Locke as attorney of record in this case. Michael Locke of Coldwell Bows, LLP, 222 boo, 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 boo. Okay, so, right? This is after they broke up. It is.
Now they're going over some of the
like I went to one, right? I went to one and it fucking sucked, and you're just around fucking insane people nonstop. Traumatized and depressed. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's therapy. I really don't know, chat. But there's something interesting. Why does Tectone want these documents and these copies of her records at a fucking hospital?
Yeah, they want to talk about her mental state, potentially use that as a defense to kind of, you know, put her credibility into question, which is what they do in all these cases with women or men, specifically in these circumstantial evidentiary cases. Credibility is king. And if they can call into question any credibility, whether it be drug abuse, alcohol, mental health issues, all those can be used to, unfortunately, muddy the waters. So that's just part of it. It's the right thing to do from a defense perspective regarding Tectone. You would have to do this. You're not doing your due diligence if you didn't.
For the officer. Okay, so this is same thing.
You got more.
Motion of extension. Applicant's motion for extension of temporary ex parte. Holy shit, there's just dude. Applicant's motion for witness to appear electronically. Okay, what happened? The motion for witness to appear electronically is brought by applicant blank, who shows in support. The case is currently set for final protective order hearing on January 23rd, 2026, as a convenience to the custodian of records of Andrew P. Trussler, and the practice petitioner requests that the court allow the custodian of records, Andrew P. Trussler, to testify via Zoom. So the dude's lazy, didn't want to show up.
Dude.
That's basically what it is.
Dude, is that his lawyer? Didn't he want to show up to the case? How much you pay him? $2? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ain't no way. MD. Oh. Oh. It looks like it's from the... Oh, it's an MD. So it looks like it's from the doctors going through records and stuff.
Okay, what happened? The motion for witness to appear electronically is brought by applicant
witness.
blank, who shows in support.
Witness.
The case is currently set for final protective order hearing on January 23rd, 2026, as a convenience to the custodian of records of Andrew P. Trussler, and the practice petitioner requests that the court allow the custodian of records, Andrew P. Trussler, to testify via Zoom. So the dude's lazy, didn't want to show up. That's basically what it is. Blank applicant for John Roberts. Applicant's motion to seal records and motion for confidentiality order. This motion is to seal records and motion for confidentiality order is bond by blank applicant who shows in support. This is an action originally arising of the Texas Family Code, and the documents filed in this case are not subjected to the standards of sealing court records set forth in Rule 76. The sealing of the records in shown action will not have an adverse effect for the public health or safety, and the records do not involve matters that should be available to the general public. Blank requests that all records which contain her information and that are subjected to the health insurance, probability, and accountability, HIPAA, in this case, to be sealed. Blank requests a confidentiality in order to prevent disclosed sensitive health information to third parties, the disclose of which could be caused by injury to blank. Blank prays.
This is pretty standardized, especially when you're going to release medical records. I think there is a potential there's a potential reason for this for a portion of the medical records to be released so that there's validation and verification of the lip procedure and the breast augmentation. I mean, but unfortunately, you get other sensitive information at that point in time. This does take on a different status, and therefore this kind of stuff is very important to also have. I'm not sure if that's going to affect our ability to get transcripts or not. It shouldn't, because that is not evidentiary. That obviously through testimony, but a lot of times they're not going to reference that. The lawyers are going to ask the questions, the cross questions about the procedure and not specific medical, or not any question that doesn't apply to the actual matter at hand, because that's usually an overreach, and you can get the opposite of attorney to object to it, and usually that can be overruled or sustained. So I don't think our transcripts are going to be an issue if we can actually get in contact with the individual, which is an issue, and I think it's now closed. So
that the court, what is praised? The court grants the motion to seal records and motion for confidentiality.
Just terminology, I think. Maybe Texas uses it more than most, but there's some weird terminology in legal jargon.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't wanted try to do it. Case to be sealed?
No, because of medical records, brother, HIPAA and stuff. You got to understand that. It's very standard stuff. It's not anything egregious. Now they're going to the Austin Oaks place. All right, let's see what else he's got here.
To the right, who's gonna pay for his bots? This is a reference to Ms. Gift's screenshots supposedly exposing Tectone for view botting. I promise you he will do the fake cry thing. And we got the classic Tekken
possible, and he doesn't do anything besides defend Tectone. He's defending Tectone. This video is defending Tectone. This video is attacking me because he defends Tectone, because he knows Tectone's an ally, probably. And
they want me to be Justice. I'm not Batman.
You're not Justice, huh? Asmongold, have that rhetoric about Minneapolis, Minnesota? You're a fucking hypocrite, dude. You're a weasel. You're bad. You don't even stand on any ground. You know, if you're going to talk shit about everybody, if you're going to shit fling everybody, then shit fling everybody. Don't make exceptions. Unless Tectone knows something about you. All these circles, right? The things that started this video, right?
Had this happen a lot, like throughout my streaming career. We all know who it is. Everybody knows who it is. And at the end of the day, I am so tired of having to pretend like this is some kind of evil thing when a crime was not proven to be committed.
Maybe not proven to be committed, but at least validates the claims of the victim that there was some abuse and trauma. And the thing that Tectone did the entire time was literally intimidate, accost, and try to ruin somebody else's life, when they could have just shut the fuck up. And they probably would never led to this in the first place. Asmongold. Pathetic.
I am not the police. I am not an investigative.
Then why don't you just shut the fuck up and play video games then? Why don't you shut the fuck up and play video games instead of actually calling for sedition charges against Governor Waltz? And you're not the police. How convenient in this case that you're not the police. But every other case, you're not only the police, you're the judge, the jury, and most importantly, the executioner. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Smart of you to cut out your fucking bottom half of your body because there's like a 0%.
I get it.
Not one bastard. What he did is not pedophilia.
All right. So this was supposed to be a transcript waiting room, and this stream was supposed to last all the way up until this point. I was supposed to get an email or a phone call, and I've already shown proof that I tried to contact this individual multiple times. I gotta respond to this 1 second. Okay, and yes, let me know. But I'm not getting that. I'm gonna check my email one more time and see, and I'm not gonna just sit here and wait. I'm gonna go look and see if there's any updates on if anybody else obtained it, because somebody should have it by now if they're gonna get it today. You would think. I didn't get any email from her. I have not got a phone call from her. So I'm assuming this is a no-go for today. And maybe it was just a busy day in court, and tomorrow she'll have more availability. That's also possible. Not to mention, because of the snowstorms, probably a lot of these cases were pushed back, and so they're probably even more booked than normal. So we're just in that kind of we're in that state. Let me just check and see if he's online. Ms. Kiff is not online. Let me search for Tectone, just in general. Let me go with categories. How does this work? Live streams. Let's go here and search for Tectone again. How does this work? Browse. Let's do this instead. Search for tags, Tectone. Shit. 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 Why do you say tech? Home. Show me something. Boy, your shit's not very good. All right, let me go to Twitch. Let me just pull this out real quick. Let me go to Twitch. Let me search here for Tectone. Anybody's reporting on this or not? Zach's on. People searching for Tectone also search for those people. Yeah, so that's it for that. And then let me go on to YouTube and just search for his name. Any updates? Oh, you know, we should check out to see if Legal Mindset's back live doing his thing or not. Is he on I love when they do this tag stuff. He did stream live on here though. Looks like he does stream live on YouTube. 19 hours ago, so he's a late night streamer. Anyway, all right, 1 second. Let me just do this. Tectone. Filters. Today. So this is the same as that. Miskiff leaks. Tectone. Dude, this guy, he's something else though, isn't he? Let's go on that. Let's still check on him and see if he's got anything new. I've only interacted with Chad one other time.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words
was whether when he said 50-50, whether I was being overly aggressive then. Now you go to the end of the call.
I could watch you do anything for hours. If you disagree with me, watch my video. If you still disagree, I don't fucking care. You're wrong and retarded. I don't.
All right, big thanks to everyone at Mythic Talent and also to Tectone for the seal of approval. Happy to be working with a great team and no objections. There you go. Look at that. Some more reasons why you're not going to talk about Tectone now. But here's breaking news. Tectone's no longer part of Mythic Talent. Mythic Talent dropped him. OTK dropped him. There's a pattern here, okay? There's a pattern here. So technically, Legal Mindset could now talk about Tectone because he's no longer a Mythic Talent, but that's besides the point, right? Yeah, nobody has the transcripts. I believe I'm the only one really probably in the right track. If you watch this video, then you know the number, you know who to call. And then maybe they're just waiting for other people to report it. We'll see. Oh, this is the guy right here. That's the guy I want to talk about, but it's too late now. I'm going to end the video. All right, let me just do one more cursory inspection here. Pegasus sweeps for Tectone and Asmongold. What is
Over the
this?
course of the last week, we've been talking about Miskiff exposing Tectone for his court case and the protective order that resulted from it. And it's caused a lot of people that are in the Asmongold sphere to take a step back and not exactly cover the situation as it's been reported. Asmongold, of course, saying, I don't want to get caught up in my defamation case against Miskiff. So he basically didn't look into any of the details of the situation that Miskiff has been posting. But another conservative Asmongold adjacent type content creator is Pegasus. I think some people like get me confused when I say conservative type. What I mean is not his personal politics, but rather the politics that he's selling to his audience. But yesterday, buried halfway into one of his videos, he decided to throw his hat into the ring and cover the Tectone situation. Now, initially, the way that I found out about it was when Substance posted, Miskiff calls out more Pegasus sweeping. So let's go ahead and watch this clip here.
And as for the info that Miskiff leaked, it's just not as damning as he wants it to be at this stage, considering it was a civil case. Now,
all right. Yeah, we're done here. I don't waste your time. You don't waste my time. I just blew myself up too big on the screen. We've been streaming for 2 hours. I can't guarantee that I will go live if I have the transcripts tomorrow, because I don't really know my schedule. If it happens, which I don't think it will, after I get done, that'll be disheartening. If so, I'll just do it and then make a video about it after. But I currently don't have any phone calls or emails. I'll just check one more time just to be certain, because I don't want to waste his time. It's not that I'm... Yeah, still nothing. All right. Tectone's currently not canceled yet. We didn't actually do it. But we'll probably do it tomorrow. And I'm not doing that because I'm hoping that's going to happen. I'm just saying in general, right? Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, follow.